what have you told them about what's happening in this country?
The reality.
Which is what?
What
do you say to them?
Especially
the older boys.
I told them about terrorists. I told them about innocent people being killed, about investigation. We have to know who, we have to look for the reason, everything.
You've told them about innocent people getting killed?
Of course.
Some of whom are children?
We didn't talk about whether innocent is innocent, whether his children or he's innocent.
Do they see pictures? Do they have Facebook or YouTube?
Of course.
Do they ask questions?
They can watch the internet every day. Of course.
They watch the internet?
They are very curious to know.
What do they say to you?
About the question about what's happening. Why do you have militants? Why do you have evil people? Why do those people want to kill?
I want to hear the answers. What do you say?
I told them about everything. Sometimes people commit mistakes. Sometimes you have bad people. In every society you have bad people. So they kill more to undermine the government. That's what you explain to children.
How does this all end? How do you restore peace?
As I said, regarding by reform and facing the terrorists.
Is the reform too little, too late?
No, because anyway the reform will not have direct impact on the terrorists, because most of the terrorists, and I would say all the terrorists, they don't have political agenda. They don't care about the reform anyway. The reform is for the majority in the middle that I told you about, and the people who support you, and the people who are against you. But terrorists don't care about this.
Will you allow freedom of expression, freedom of press?
Why did we change all this law? Why did we have this package of new laws for that? We have it. We already have it.
You don't have freedom of press. You can't criticize you.
That depends on the law. You have, in every society, you have I wouldn't call it taboo. You have limits.
Taboos? Not in mine. We have freedom of press. How do you hope that you will be remembered?
By doing the best I can for this country. Whether you agree or whether the people agree or don't agree, but at the end, I wasn't puppet. I care a lot about being independent, president for independent Syria, and do my best according to my convictions. That's the most important thing. At the end, even if they disagree with you, they will respect you.
What do you think is the biggest misconception that my country has of what's happening here, if indeed there is a misconception?
Misconception about a lot of things I cannot tell you, because it's so many facts, distorted facts, you have them in the media. But the most important thing, as accumulation of these facts, you don't have vision. The problem with the West in general, especially the United States, they don't have vision about, at least my region, I wouldn't talk about the rest of the world, failing in Iraq, failing in Afghanistan, failing in fighting terrorism. The situation is getting worse and worse in the rest of the world. The question you ask as American, what did you get? Where did you win? Well, you spend trillions where you could spend a few hundred of millions and get better result. So that it harms your interest, but at the same time, it harms others' interests. So this is the misconception, I think.
Dealing with the protesters, what is the misconception, if there is any,
about
the protests? Yeah. That's what is being focused on now.
Okay. We don't kill our people. Nobody kill, no government in the world kill its people unless it's led by a crazy person. For me as president, I became president because of the public support. It's impossible for anyone in this state to give order to kill people. We have militants, those militants killing soldiers and killing civilians. This morning, we lost 9 civilians killed in Homs, in the middle of Syria, and they are supporters. Most of the victims are government supported. That's something they don't know. They think every civilian is demonstrator and every civilian is against the government, which is not true.
But the protesters in the beginning who were killed,
yeah.
What about them?
What do you mean?
Well, what I was trying to get is we see, our view is there were peaceful protesters.
Yeah.
Okay. Our view is there were peaceful protesters. They were killed. Some were tortured. It was a brutal reaction. Are we wrong in thinking that?
Every brutal reaction was by individual, not by institution. That's what you have to know. Not by institution. Institution means policy. We don't have policy. We don't have institutions that kill people or give order for brutal reaction. This is individual, and that's what I described as individual mistakes.
Okay, done by the military or done by whom?
We don't know everything.
But
in some cases, done by the police. In some cases, done by civilians. Civilians who support the government, not by government, not by police.
But not by your command?
No. We don't have no one's command. There was no command to kill or to be brutal.
So that was individual people
Of
or
course,
individual
definitely.
overreacting?
That depends, because when you have chaos in some areas, anyone could make this mistake or committed crime or aggression or whatever.
Are you remorseful?
No, I regret. You regret when you do mistakes, when you commit a mistake. I always try to protect my people. How can I feel remorseful if I try to protect the Syrian people?
Do you feel guilty?
I did my best to protect the people, so you cannot feel guilty when you do your best. You feel sorry for the life that has been lost, but you don't feel guilty when you don't kill people. So it's not about guilty. You do your best, and you have to do your best, and you have to fight terrorists to protect the other civilians in Syria.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.